So the union is currently marching up and down the Trans Canada Highway, blocking the traffic, holding our country down to a standstill, forcing their demands. I would just like to say there's thousands of homeless peoples in the streets that are going broke, currently sleeping on the sidewalks because the government can no longer afford to keep them housed. But these people are marching up and down the street demanding higher things to make things even more strict for the taxpayers, so that even more people will be sleeping on the streets. It's really a terrible situation. I'd just like to say that in the past, the unions have been anti-protest, saying that anyone that protested in Ottawa was a racist Nazi. And now seeing this happening in our country, what is the difference? They're shutting down our economy. They're blocking the Trans Canada Highway, preventing goods and services from getting to and through the country. Now, I'd just like to remember the poem, First They Came. And they stated in World War II that you're supposed to support everyone's protest and rights to freedom. And so that when people get taken down that aren't supported, then there's no one left to help support you, right? So I wouldn't say that I'm against the union being able to protest like this, but I would like to see some equality. If the truckers aren't allowed to protest, then why is this allowed to continue? Should be both. I'd like to see the trucker convoy join them and get some of our human rights back for good, to make sure that they can never lock down the country and force injections that are dangerous into people ever again. Boy, this is incredible. This is the Trans Canada Highway. Well, this is a view from up north. The unions have currently blocked the Trans Canada Highway, and they're preventing the goods and services from flowing in and out of the country between the two provinces, Quebec and Ontario. This is wild. This is like 10 times worse than what the trucker convoy did. I didn't see the trucker convoy blocking the main arteries like the Trans Canada Highway. Like, they went downtown to Ottawa. What is this, right? Like, this is unreal. People walking on the highway, blocking the traffic. Oh, and to think of all the homeless people, thousands of them sleeping on the sidewalk, who is protesting for them? This is like an anti-homeless people protest, because these people are driving up the cost of living so high by running up the government's deficits, and they're already getting huge raises, and it's not enough. It's like, how come we're not out protesting for the people sleeping on the streets? Because these government workers have ran the bills up so high that people are literally sleeping on the streets. Like, who should be getting the protests more? I'd just like to say I do support the rights to protest, but equal protest. If the convoy is allowed to protest, then this should be able to continue. But if one or the other is, one is allowed, the other isn't, this is unreal. Yeah, so that's the update. The Trans Canada Highway up north has been blocked by the unions. They're impeding traffic of supplies, food going in and out of the cities, bringing the country to a standstill to get their demands with force and numbers, like a group of bullies that demand what they want and they won't listen to reason. Oh, we also have the Ukrainian stuff here, supporting sending weapons and arms to escalate wars. It's like, hopefully they're for peace convoy, to make peace with Russia and not try to eliminate them. Wow, I never thought I would see this up north. Look at this, school buses impeded by the protest. No, and to be fair, the police are actually helping this protest, eh? They literally led the way and helped them block traffic. Or maybe the police aren't helping them block traffic. It's hard to say. Maybe they're pulling them all over and going to take away all the money from their bank accounts, and they're going to put guns in the faces of the families, take the kids away. like they did to the trucker convoy. All right, so well, that's the end of the protest for now. We'll see if it escalates any worse and how far up the highway they're going to keep going. Maybe they'll walk all the way to Quebec.